Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do your June the 11th just for today in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. The title of today's meditation, let's see here, Living Clean. As we recover, we gain a new outlook on being clean. Life can become a new adventure for us. That comes from our basic text, page 91. The using life is not a clean one. No one knows this better than we do. Some of us lived in physical squalor, caring neither for our surroundings nor ourselves. Worse, though, than any external filth was the way most of us felt inside. The things we did to get our drugs, the way we treated other people, and the way we treated ourselves had us feeling dirty. Many of us recall waking too many mornings just wishing that for once we could feel clean about ourselves and our lives. Today we have a chance to feel clean by living clean. For us, addicts, living clean starts with not using. After all, that's our primary use for the word clean in Narcotics Anonymous. But as we stay clean and work the 12 steps, we discover another kind of clean. It's the clean that comes from admitting the truth about our addiction rather than hiding or denying our disease. It's the freshness that comes from owning up to our wrongs and making amends for them. It's the vitality that comes from the new set of values we develop as we seek a higher power's will for us. When we practice the principles of our program in all our affairs, we have no reason to feel dirty about our lives or our lifestyles. We're living clean and are grateful to be doing so at last. Clean living used to be just for the squares. Today, living clean is the only way we'd have it, just for today. I feel clean because I'm living clean, and that's the way I want to keep it. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a powerful meditation, living clean. By being clean and living clean, we get a new outlook on our lives, and we make a decision to use the 12 steps to help us get there, apply the 12 spiritual principles within the steps, and there's far more than 12, but each step does have one main representative spiritual principle. And we use those to change how we interact with people, how we move forward, the decisions that we make or don't make, or the things that we agree to do or don't do, the way that we decide to talk to people or not talk to people, the way we decide to treat them or not treat them. These spiritual principles are guiding for us throughout our life. And it's a decision that we make to be more than just clean. We decide to clean up everything about us, even the minuscule stuff that may not be so glaring to anyone else, but we are aware of it. We decide to apply the spiritual principles even to that. And before you know it, we're not just abstaining from the use of drugs. We're not just clean in that sense. We're living clean. We're living clean. And that is a deeper meaning because it also embraces being clean from the use of drugs. But it also on a broader scope means we're clean from dirty thoughts and dirty behavior and dirty actions and motives. And who would ever know any of this stuff? Except for ourselves, maybe those close to us, our higher power, God Himself. See, it takes a lot more to clean up the things that other people can't see than just clean up the things that other people can see. It's easy to clean up our language. We have many meetings that say, you can't cuss here, right? Don't cuss here. This is an inside job. Let's not cuss here when we share. It's easy to observe that for an hour or two. Oh, how about a lifetime? It's become so sociably acceptable in some circles to behave that way. That after we leave the meeting or there's no longer a rule that we have to observe, we go right back to what's comfortable. You know, that particular behavior used to be called profanity for a reason. No one follows you outside of the meeting. Who's with you from the meeting in your day-to-day living? Who's following you? Who's with you? Who knows that you cleaned up the language for the meeting, but in other areas of your life, you're profane. That's just one example that I personally can relate to, so I can speak to that. Living clean is a lot broader than just not using drugs. Some people are very content to put the drug down, but not the behaviors. We call it being clean, staying clean and living dirty. I don't know that you can do that. We've used that cliche a lot of times, but a lot of times living dirty is dirty. And the only thing left to do is actually pick up the drug. And hopefully, God forbid that you would, right? That a person would, that I would. But a lot of times you're just a step away. As they say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. I was hanging out with some people that were not in recovery at all. Like social butterflies. After work, the first thing they do is go to 501 parties, right? Make sure they get a drink in their system because they just deserve it. They had worked so hard. You know, it wasn't a concept to them that they would ever in life not drink. And I can't remember exactly where, but I know I had less than 5 years, had less than 5 years clean. And it had to be some gathering, like maybe a reception. It was something that had me in the atmosphere of a bar. Right? Everyone had a drink on the table. And back in the day, when you're cool with someone and you're drinking something different than they're drinking, it's not uncommon for them to tip their glass towards you and say, use your straw and take a sip, try this, right? And I remember thinking, let me try that. Let me have a sip of that, try that. And just as quick as that dirty thought came to my mind, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, it's still there. After all this time, that thinking is still there. It's still there. I have no business being in this atmosphere because there's nothing to say that in the middle of dancing and having a good time, I would not reach for my girl's drink and have a sip just to taste. There's nothing to say that I would not do it. And thankfully, I have the clarity of mind right now to realize that thought is there. I do not need to be in this atmosphere. I need to figure my way out of this and not put myself back in this situation because it's too second nature for me to reach for the drink in a spirit of let's hang out, party, and have a good time. What you drinking? What you drinking? Let me try that, girl. No, I don't belong in the atmosphere. Have I been in other atmospheres like that in these 30 years almost of being clean? Yes, I have, but they're few and far between. Where I come from, there used to be a group of people. They just hung out at the clubs. That's all they did. Everybody drinking Coca-Cola. That's playing with fire for me. I do not joke with my recovery. And that one I cannot do. That one I cannot do. So for me, that would be living dirty. I can't dirty my spirit like that. I cannot put myself intentionally in an atmosphere where the urge might be there. That's with 30 plus, almost 30 years, really 29 plus years. August 28th will be 30 years since 1993. No slips, no dips, no weekend trips. And that's by the grace of God. So if I can clean up my behavior, you can. If a dirty, using addict like myself can get clean and stay clean and use the spiritual principles and the fellowship to allow me to clean my way of living up, you can do it too. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I feel clean because I'm living clean today. And that's the way I'm going to keep it. Today, I hope that you feel the same and commit to the same. Know when you're starting to slide a little bit to the left, too much. Know when you're starting to make compromises. It's summertime. Where I live, it's summertime. So that means that fewer people in the meeting rooms, more relapses, and in this particular city, more opportunities for death by gunshot or overdose. We're going to lose some this summer. I hope not, but I'm always at the ready because I know that it's only one bad decision or being in one place at the wrong time. And sometimes that's not intentional, right? No one plans to be somewhere out on a playground and people just start shooting and end up dying from a gunshot to to the head. No one intends to do that. But this is a season where we're going to lose some people. And my goal is for it not to be me. My name is Mighty Stream. Have a beautiful day considering this meditation. And today, just start. If there's some place in your life that you're living dirty, start cleaning it up today. The personal benefit, the way that you feel about yourself is going to be much better if you do. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I'm going to have a beautiful day on purpose, and I hope that you would do the same. Talk to you soon.